What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 100% Real Podcast. Today, we have here, I messed that all up. Today we have here Art the Clown, known as David Howard Thornton. What's going on, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, man?
I've been doing good. Me and my brother, we watched the Terrifier the other night. Yeah, it was.
I didn't hear that last part. I just heard that you and your brother watched Terrifier the other night.
Yeah,
that's great. Was that your first time seeing it, or?
I think that was his first time. I think that was my third time watching it.
Oh, okay, cool. So, how did he fare?
He couldn't take it. We
did our job.
So, how's everything going with you during this time of quarantine and coronavirus and stuff going on?
It's going as well as it can be right now. You know, it's just like it's month 4 now that we're on of this, so it's just like, oh, jeez. I do what I can. I've been, excuse me. Yeah, well,
you're good.
I've been just pretty much been cooped up inside my apartment these past 4 months. So I've been watching a lot of films and playing a lot of video games recently. So,
what's your favorite video game that you're playing right now?
Right now, I just started playing the Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh, nice. I haven't played it yet, but I heard it's pretty good.
On PlayStation 4? Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It is like one of the most gorgeous games I've ever played. It's just like, wow, it gets me excited about what's going to be coming out of the next generation of systems. If they're able to pull this off on a PlayStation 4, I'm like, man, what are they going to be able to pull off on PS5?
Exactly. I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, I might get it, I might not get it. I don't know yet.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I strongly recommend getting it. It's a lot of fun, too, like the duels and stuff like that, all the combat. It's a lot of fun. So,
I know you were in the Terrifier, and I know you're in the Terrifier 2. You just have to be in the Terrifier 2. You have to be.
Of course.
you gotta continue the path of destruction.
Yeah, you got to. I'm not giving that guy up yet. He's too much fun to play.
So walk me through like a day on set of the Terrifier, the first one, if you remember some things about it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much I have to show up before anybody else does in the cast and crew. It's Damien and I that arrive on set like an hour or 2 or 3 sometimes before everybody else, because it takes about 3 hours to put all my makeup on. And so it's like that's kind of exhausting in itself. So that's a lot of just Damien and I just having time together. So we've got to know each other so well during all this, because all that is I spent well over 100 or so hours in that makeup chair alone with Damien. So we're like family now.
Yeah.
So I get on set, finally get makeup, then I usually just sit there for a while they set up all the shots and stuff like that. Sometimes they have to film other things first before they get to me, but they have to do all my stuff first because Damien has to be on set for everything, and Damien does my makeup. So there's a lot of sitting around and waiting for me. But once I get on set, it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing that. It can be a little bit tiring at times, especially when it's cold. Because when you're covered in all that blood, it just makes it worse. So it's just like, yeah, but you deal with it. I haven't had it as bad as some of our cast members, though. I'll take that back. I've had a few nights where I was pretty much naked, having to wear blood, so that was pretty brutal, too. And I feel sorry for everybody that had to see that scene. I'm like, oh, you signed up to see other people naked, not me naked.
So what's your favorite scene of the Terrifier?
I would say that would be the pizzeria scene. I think that is just a great scene in the film because it sets up everything you need to know about the character. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have any of his backstory or anything like that. You know everything you need to know about that character from that one scene alone. Just you see so many different facets of who he is. You see his like playful, side. You see that creepy side to him. Then you later on to see that just outright malicious, evil, brutal side of him when he goes and just kills everybody in there. I'm like, it's a great scene. It's got some great little moments in there. A lot of funny moments. It's got some scary moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to play around a lot with that scene too. But Damon gave me a lot of free range to like improvise and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed doing that scene.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So does the Terrifier 2 have a release date yet, or?
Not yet. We originally wanted to aim for October of this year, but that was well before the pandemic happened. So no one anticipated all this craziness to happen. So that kind of slowed things down for us because we were almost finished filming. I think maybe we had like a week or two left of filming to do when we had to go in lockdown here in New York City. And it's just like, but luckily we finished probably one of the biggest set pieces in the film, like literally the week of the whole, when the leading up to the lockdown. So we got the hardest stuff. It's like what kills him or something like that. So that's the easy stuff now. So we're almost finished, and Damon's been really busy editing everything that we've already shot. And so, like, I think that the part that's going to take the longest to get it out is trying to find whoever's going to put this out there to the world. However, we're going to just distribute it. So we don't know if it's going to go in theaters yet, or if we're just going to do like we did last time and release it on DVD and Blu-ray and also on streaming platforms, Netflix, hopefully. But it'll get there. I do know that if we had to go to theaters and we had to get an MPAA rating, we would definitely be getting hard NC-17. No doubt. No doubt in the least this would be just for the first few minutes of the film alone, it would be like, okay, NC-17, no problem.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, we are not pulling back from all the gore and all that kind of stuff at all. I think we're pushing ourselves because we feel like we have to try to surpass what we did in the first one. That Hacksaw scene.
Because you said, so, like, the standards are, like, so high now because of what the first one was like. You're like, how do we top this?
Yeah. That's always the hard part about doing these things. Like, when you do something and you're already up there, and it's just like, oh, God, we set the bar high.
Yeah.
Oh, no. How are we going to top ourselves now? So that's what we're attempting at, and I think we've pretty much done it. It's just like, I think this film is just a fun film. There's so many things that I still can't talk about yet.
Yeah.
That wasn't even seen in the trailer that we released recently. There's so many things. Characters that have not been revealed yet either.
Oh my gosh, there's new characters?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. There's this one character especially that a lot of people are going to be like, WTF about. Yeah.
So, if Pennywise and Art had a battle, who do you think would win?
Oh, Art. No problem there. Because, Pennywise banks on fear. That's how he gets people. He's like, he feeds off of fear. And Art is pretty much fearless. He doesn't really, there's nothing really that phases him. He's just brutal. He's evil and sadistic. And I think, that would probably be the one time Art would actually talk. And it would be the trash talk.
Yes, I was like, how come he doesn't talk?
Yeah, I think that would be the one time you would ever hear him talk. He's like, you're such a loser. You're not even a real clown.
Oh my gosh.
You're a poser, loser. You got beaten by kids, loser.
Oh my gosh.
By the loser club, loser.
So I heard you said you're living in New York now?
Yes. Yeah.
So have you been to any like New York Comic Cons or anything like that?
I haven't been to New York Comic Con yet, but I have done some of the other smaller cons around here, like Big Apple Con and Winter Con and stuff like that. But one day I hope to get to New York Comic Con. Every year when I want to do it, something always gets in the way. It's so annoying.
I can only imagine.
something's always like, it was like back in the day when I was waiting tables, I would always have to work that day, or I had to do some project that day, or something always would interfere with that convention. I was like, oh man, one day, I would especially love to be a guest there one day.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I was about to ask you. Like, have you been like a guest on it, or anything, like a guest on like a panel or anything like that? That's why that was my next question.
That one. Yeah, but I've done a lot of other conventions and done a lot of panels. That was actually something that was a goal of mine, because I was a con fan before I was, as a guest at the cons. I was going to conventions and stuff like that. And especially I'd cosplay as Joker a lot, and stuff like that. And that was always a goal of mine, was to be on that other side of the table at the conventions, doing autographs one day, or doing the Q&A sessions and stuff like that. It's like that I think it's a fun way to really interact with your fans and stuff. For
sure. What is your favorite horror movie of all time?
Ooh, I don't have an absolute favorite. That's because there are just so many good ones out there. But I'm also the same way with comedies. There's so many good ones out there. I don't have my one all-time favorite film of all time would be Friend Roger Rabbit, because that's got everything I like in a film. But I can't say that about just a certain genre of films.
Yeah.
But I would say my top 5 for horror would be original Halloween, The Omen, Exorcist, Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one, and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors.
Nice. I think mine would have to be. I'll put The Grudge up there at number 1, because that was the movie that pretty much scarred me when I was a kid. So that was at the top for sure.
Have you seen the original, like the Japanese version?
I have not.
Oh, that's even freakier.
I gotta watch it then. I'll put Conjuring 2, and then probably The Cult of Chucky.
That was actually a surprisingly good movie.
It was
like that was a really creative, very meta one too. That was like, wow, that went to some interesting places in that. I love that, like Fiona and Brad are doing a film together, and then she gets taken over by her dad's spirit. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I don't really like the newer Child's Play. It's kind of weird, because
that's not, to me, a Child's Play movie.
It's not.
It's like I mean, no disrespect, if that had just been another new character, I would have been totally like, yeah, this is a good movie. But as a Child's Play movie, that wasn't a Child's Play movie, because that was not Chucky.
No.
Chucky's not a rogue AI.
No.
Chucky is a guy, a Satanist that put his soul into this doll to try to escape the police. It's just like that's Chucky. That's so much scarier to me. It's like, why didn't they just do another, just make a new franchise off of a rogue AI like that? That would totally work, and I would have been, oh, this is great.
And I think that's how a lot of people feel about that movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people that genuinely like the movie, and then there's some that have their opinions on it. Like, I was trash. I was just trash.
As a movie itself, it was great.
Yeah,
it was a great horror movie. It did some really fun, creative things, especially him like taking control of all the things and the store and stuff like that. I was like, that's kind of cool, but I'm like, but it's not Chucky.
It's not.
Like,
it was Buddy.
It was Buddy.
What's your favorite horror character? Like, who's your favorite character? As far as
that's easy. Freddy Krueger. It's like I think that is like the most creative horror villain ever created, because he's just, first of all, he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's so charismatic, but he's scary as hell too. But then he's like, unlike other horror characters, like Mike Myers and Jason, all those guys, they're all based in the physical world. So you can get away from them if you really wanted to. You could get in the car and drive the heck out of Dodge.
Exactly.
Get in a plane, fly to another country, get away from them. Freddie, you can't. He's in your dreams.
Oh yeah.
You can't escape him that way. You have to fall asleep or you die. So it's like, and that's freaky in itself. It's like, then you can't escape him. And then the whole premise of him having control over dreams, that lends infinite possibilities of what you can do with the character.
Yeah.
It's like you can literally come up with any scenario and you can do it because it takes place in a dream. So it's like that's it's brilliant character. Like Wes Craven, great job.
So I think we could wrap it up here.
All right.
Thank you so much for being on the 100% Real podcast. Stay safe, and hopefully talk to you soon.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me, and you stay safe as well, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care, man.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Guys, we did it. Thank you so much for listening in to the 100% Real podcast. I know there was a little bit of, delay, a little bit of lagging when it comes to voices. So I apologize on that end in advance. So thank you so much. And this is the podcast that keeps it too sweet. And we are OUT.